All right, so today's message is let God change your perspective. A lot of times, why we're not happy in life is because, the perspective and how we look at it. You know what I'm saying? When God's saying that, what I'm saying, if you look at it from his point of view, it's a lot different. We're not talking about looking at it naturally. We're talking about looking at it spiritually. It don't matter what has happened to you. If you love God, it's all going to work out to his promise. So it's all going to work out for you. And that's a promise for you. That's Romans 8:28. So if you love God, it's going to work out for you. Another thing is too, God wants to do some new things for people in the month of March. But he wants you to get the right people around you. A lot of times if you're going through something, you know what I'm saying? It says iron sharpens iron. So you need somebody that will hold you accountable, but also somebody that will point you in the right direction, or, somebody that knows the word, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. That's why I be careful for who we listen to, for who we watch, you know what I'm saying? Even on TV, because that can actually shape our perspective. That's why it's important for, what we listen to TV or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I was just trying to talk about is, saying your perspective. Talks about in Romans 12:22, where Romans 12:2, it says, do not copy, the customs of the world, or do not act the way the world acts, but let God, change the way you think, your perspective. You know what I'm saying? And if you allow God to do that, you will experience peace and joy. God has allowed me to do that, and just praying and, asking God to show me. So I'll give you a quick testimony. When I was working for the temp service, I was working, for there for 6 months. Sometimes the money, I got paid every week. But I was living with my brother. We all had a townhouse, me, my brother, and my mom, so we was all living together, trying to make stuff work. And, we all had to put our part up. So, what happened was, I would pay, my part. And then sometimes I was late on it because they wouldn't give me all my money. So I would do like 5 jobs, I would expect a certain amount. I would tell them, hey, this is what I'm going to give you, so I wouldn't, and I would like, hey, I didn't get paid for this one job. And they'd be like, oh, we'll put it on your next week's check. But that was causing like a thing between me and my brother, and I understand, so I was like, I need to go get something consistent. So I went to go to, GameStop, because they were hiring. I was like, well, hey, maybe I can move up in the company. I'm looking down the road. I'm not looking at just, starting somewhere, because you got to start somewhere. That's why God said, did not despise humble beginnings. So, I went to GameStop and, put an application, got to meet the guy. He was like, oh, I'm in charge, yeah. He's like, it's good, So I'm like, cool, man. He's like, you love video games? I'm like, yeah, I play video games. So I'm thinking like everything is going to be gravy and everything. Come to find out, they turned me down because I got a degree, so I'm overqualified. But I could have got mad and been like, you know what? That's messed up, man. Like, why don't y'all hire me? But I just thank God, because I'm like, all right, obviously God got something better for me. So now that's different. That's 2 perspectives. So I could have took it negatively, or I could have took it spiritually, as God is saying, So I'm like, all right, cool. So end up going to Verizon, and, I'm still here, I just thank God for that, because it's just your perspective, and a lot of times, God has something better for you, if something walks out your life or leaves, God has something better for you. There is a time frame that God will allow a person to go through some nonsense, whatever the case may be. But, there's a time frame. So that's what I wanted to say. It's just your perspective. And, a lot of times you just need somebody in your life. That's why God has his prophets and things like that. You need somebody in your life that can actually see, the perspective of it. And if that be the case, then, then you'll be able to see it better from a spiritual perspective. So I thank God for that. Even the ones that inbox me and they tell me the situations and things like that. And I just allow God to show me the perspective. Okay, God, show me how to see it from your perspective and how it's all going to work out or anything. And even if I don't see the whole picture, I can give them words of encouragement, through my own experience or anything like that. So just want to say, it says bad company corrupts good character, 1 Corinthians 15:33. So we got to be careful who we are around. And don't get me wrong, if some people end up leaving out your circle, then God makes room for other people. Don't worry about it. That's not saying they're a bad person. It's just saying they can't go with you. A lot of times, people are spiritually afraid of heights. So, if there's too much baggage on the airplane, it can't fly or it'll crash. So, they can't go with you to the next level. And maybe that's what God is saying, everybody can go with you to the next level. It's the month of March. So, God is trying to change your perspective. And sometimes he has to change the people around you, because if you continue to talk to the people that's around you, then they're probably helping with the wrong perspective. Love y'all. God bless.